Age of Wonders Planetfall. This is your review for 2. Good day, my name is Joe. Today we'll be going over Age of Wonders Planetfall and how it plays with 2 players. Now Age of Wonders Planetfall is a 2 to 6 player competitive game where you'll be playing over the course of 7 cycles, and you'll get 2 turns per cycle. So you get a total of 14 turns. You're going to use your experience, spend your strength and your energy to gain victory points by defeating enemies out here, by collecting energy, by getting some science, or by getting some city resources. And by the end of the game, after the 14 turns, whoever has the most points wins the game. So let's see a little bit more how to play. So at the beginning of the game, everybody's going to choose their race. It has double-sided. Each has a little special ability they can also do, and a couple starting resources, whether it be experience, the strength, or the energy. And the strength and energy are spendable resources throughout the game, where experience is going to stay with you. And if you can defeat some enemies, if you can defeat some of these higher level things, then you can grow up on experience and have to spend a little bit less strength. But on your turn, it's pretty simple. Everybody is going to, starting from the top bottom on this player order, put their disc on a card they want to claim, and the next person down does the same thing. Once all the players have placed their disc, they're going to grab the cards, and in a specific order from top to bottom, they're going to put it back on the round marker, and that's who's going to go next for the next turn. So everybody's going to grab their card. They're going to pay for their card. It's kind of like a, Age of Wonders kind of type, where you're going to spend some strength to maybe get some energy, or spend some energy to get some strength on most of these cards. Kind of a trade-off, but all scoring victory points and getting these set collections. I will mention as well that each game is going to have its own little scoring conditions, and these are pretty important because you're always going to be scoring some cards out here, but you really want to keep in mind which ones of these that you can really accomplish. So there's 3 scoring objectives for each location as well. So once you've done that twice for a certain planet, you're going to gather up all the cards. You're going to go to the next planet and do the same thing again. And like I said at the beginning of the video, it goes through 7 planets, so you have 14 turns. And a little bit about the cards out here are they're enemies you defeat. Most of the time you maybe get some experience, but you'll get some energy and victory points. There's energy, which is it may give you a shot of energy now, or you can get energy for every planet on some of these cards. The science cards are kind of like your ongoing effects. You spend some energy or strength to get these and have ongoing effects. And then there's cities, which can sometimes be conquered or sometimes be spent by energy, and a little bit of set collection for some victory points. But other than that, those are the 4 types of cards out here for each planet. And there's a little bit of these operations or side actions that can just give you straight energy. That is kind of the game in a bundle. Like I said, you'll be gaining experience. That'll stay with you, spending the strength and energy, kind of push and pull, and hopefully you don't run out by the end and kind of run out of steam for some of these high point scoring cards. So let's see a little bit more what I thought about the game. So the components in this game, well, there's not a whole lot to it. My one maybe gripe is, cubes on a flat player mat, and some kind of slide around. But the game's so quick that it really doesn't need much more than that. What I do like about this game as far as the components is the planets are really kind of a rainbow of colors. I kind of see, this game is very bright and vibrant and kind of nice to just get to the table. As far as the rules go, well, the rules really didn't take that long. It's kind of, it goes through a little bit more in depth, but once you get you have to go on this level, you pay this much for this card, and you get this reward. It's kind of a pay resource, get reward kind of game. The hardest part may be for some people just realizing the player order on the next turns, but the rules and the references and iconography in this game are top notch. Setup and table size. Setup really doesn't take that long. You're really going to be these 7 individual decks. Get your player board out, set your starting abilities, put your 9 cards out here for a 2-player game. I think in and 4 or more. I think there are 11 to 12 cards out here. So you can block each other a little bit in this game. But as far as setup goes, it is nice to sit beside each other because you can both read the cards, but it really doesn't take up too much space on the table. So let's talk about the gameplay for a minute. I won't go into too long because I feel like I kind of did an overview as is. But the gameplay loop is spend your strength to normally get energy when you're trying to get cards out here, or spend your energy to get strength by the cards out here. And it's kind of interesting because, you know, these decks may only have about 14 cards or so you don't know what's coming out in some of these. And you may not get the kind of the exchange that you're really looking for, but that's kind of the name of the game, and trying to just see how can I balance this game? How can I look at the, you know, end game scoring abilities and really try to maximize those. When you buy these cities, that can kind of get pairs, it tells you what other decks in the future that they're going to come in, but that doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get them. So it's kind of a little bit of push your luck as far as the cities go, but the energy, deciding whether you want a shot of energy now or the income for the future. And you know, it's just kind of a light game. It's easy to get to the table. It's kind of easy to understand, and there's just not the robustness, but there's a lot of mini choice to be made. One thing I really didn't touch on is the top row is when you put one of your ships on the row, you'll get to go quicker than the other players. However, it's going to cost you a few more resources, where the further down that you go, the further in the turn order you're going to go, probably matters more in higher player counts, the less these cards are going to cost. So you can really save an energy here and there. And by the end, you know, I think we ended with like 1 strength and 0 energy. You really want to push to the end because these level 7s are so big. The last thing you want to do on your last turn is just spend some for these operations, which just give you a little bit of boost on energy and a shot, but you really want to be taking cards as often as you can. So once again, the gameplay loop is very fast. It's from top to bottom. You go, you claim your cards, next person goes, and so on until everybody's card is claimed. You're going to put your back, you're going to put the ships back, you're going to get your card, pay for your card, get your resources, and go again. Once again, 2 phases per planet, and there's 7 planets. It's just 14 turns, very quick back and forth type of game. So is this game good for 2? And we did have a good time for 2. This game is very fast for 2. It's really quick. It's a little bit of simultaneous play when you're paying for your stuff and getting, because there's not a whole bunch of player interaction per se. And that's where I think this would really shine at 3 or more players, when you start to block each other, when you get a little bit more crowded. Because when some person take this in a 2-player game, there's 8 other options, 8 other pretty good options probably that you can also take on your turn. And then once those cards are done, you still have a lot of options on the table, where with 3 players, the number of cards don't increase. So you're really fighting for everything. You're seeing what you need to do right now. And you know, in the higher player counts, somebody's going to take what you need, and you can really think about more, do I want to go fast or slow? But in a 2-player game, this game is fun, but it really looks like it shines at the 3+ player count. So we had a good time. This is going to stay in our collection because, you know, for kind of a 4-player, we don't have a ton of quick, you know, filler-esque 4-player games. This took us about 30 minutes every time we played, and it's just kind of quick. There's not a lot to it. There's not a lot to explain. But at 2 players, it's really tough to recommend this, but it's going to stay in the collection for those times where we may have played 7 Wonders for the day, and it's time to play Age of Wonders Planetfall and really fight for some of the area where 7 Wonders more card drafting. This can be a little bit more placement and resource manipulation. So very good game. I like this game. I cannot recommend it for 2. That doesn't mean we didn't have a good time at 2. I could just see this really shining when you're fighting for the positions. A little bit of area, I don't want to say area control, but area management, card management out here at 3+ players. So hope you guys enjoyed the review for Age of Wonders Planetfall, and until next time.